make promises, cause I don't keep them. I already miss.
Hey guys, and welcome to the vlog. Y'all already saw some of the things I did today, like Queen 2 loads. I personally didn't buy anything for myself, but they had all the holiday stuff out, and just Halloween to Christmas is my favorite time, so I absolutely love it. This made me so happy, that serotonin boost, you know. Now we're gonna get into reading. It is 3 o'clock now, and I will be starting page 400 in the Night Manager. I didn't read anything in here last night because I got over 100 pages read in my other 2 books. I didn't need to pick this up because my goal is just to get over 100 pages read in a day, so it's like whatever gets me to that. I'm picking this up and I am at, I think, 65% maybe, and I want to read 5%, and then I am doing the ebook audiobook thing, so I'm going just to be listening while I play the video game, which is City Skylines. I'm still playing. I have 8,197 citizens. This is my first time playing this game since I think 2018, and I've just been on such a kick with it. I've been enjoying it a lot and just having a fun time, and I told one of my friends about it earlier. Building your city, whatever. I don't know if there is a multiplayer version or not. I currently don't have Wi-Fi. I'm glad that you don't, like, some video games you have to be online for, and I don't feel like restarting the Wi-Fi, but I want to play my game. But I need to get my headphones to get to listening to the Night Manager. First reading update of the vlog. I actually started this at 70%. I told y'all 65, but I was actually at 70, and I got up to 76%, and that was 33 pages read. So I'm on chapter 24, so not a lot left. I mean, it is a possibility that we could finish this in this vlog, which would be awesome because I'd be finishing it like a week early. But we are going to get into Bunny now by Mona Awad. I'm currently on page 65, chapter 9, and honestly, I'm thinking this is an overhyped book. I don't really get the point of it, and the plot, not plot, I guess it'd be writing, is very dry. It says, I walked across campus to our writing class, whatever, like, I don't know, but it says the writing is dry, and then when there's dialogue, I'm confused by who's talking, and then I'm just like, what is happening? I'm confused. I know a lot of people are confused when reading this, but it seems like confused in a good way confused. For me, I'm just like, what is the point? Why am I reading this? So I'm gonna get into this now. As I said, starting on page 65. It is 6 o'clock. I'm not done reading for the day, but I just got to the end of part 1, so I just wanted to tell y'all my theories so far. Again, I think this book is overhyped. I don't know if I told y'all that already, because I've told like everybody I know that I think it's overhyped so far. I think this book is either all a dream, or all like the weird occurrences are a dream. My other theory is that these are all just like visions, or they'll be drug induced or like mental illness. I don't know. It's just really weird. And then the main character, Samantha, is in college to be a writer, so I'm thinking maybe this is something she's writing. I don't know. It's just, those are my theories. At the end of part 1, I just wanted to chime in then because I have been wanting to tell y'all, but I just haven't found a good time to like come in, so I thought just the end of part 1 would be a good time. I will get back to reading in about 5 minutes. If you don't know, after every chapter I watch like 5 minutes of a booktube video, because if I am not watching booktube, I am not motivated to read, and even I'm not motivated for my own videos, which with vlogs that hasn't really been the case, but for like sit down videos, I just don't, I lack it. I'm like, I don't know what anybody in the community is doing. I'm not getting inspiration. So I do love reading and I love watching booktube, so you know, it goes hand in hand. And then while I'm listening to the booktube video, I am playing my video game as well. I had to start a new city. I saved Westell, which was my old city. I just go with the name that's automatically given, but it was not showing up in my saves, and then I turned my Wi-Fi back on and it showed up on my save, so I clicked play, and then it dropped me into some tropical world when the world that I had been playing in was an Arctic tundra. So I don't know. So I started a new game, and it's West Valley, and it is the Decibel world. So like basically Oklahoma or Missouri or somewhere. And so I'm back at the beginning, and I am playing the whole time now with this one with the sandbox mode for unlimited money, just because I think that is easier. But the last game I did play without hey guys, and happy Sunday. I wanted to film just while I still look cute. It is a little past 3, so we're going to be reading a little bit later today, just because I do need to eat lunch and all of that, because I have been out, and I just wanted to update while I still look cute. But we were at 103 pages yesterday, so we only picked up the 2 books, but we will be skidding into this to read to 80%. I felt like something fell, but to 80%, probably around 4. I got to 80% in here, which was 18 pages read, so I'm gonna have to read a lot in here today if I'm going to want to get to 100 pages. Let's see, put these all back in their order. All those books are out of order. Look how I'm glowing. I was just outside, so I'm sweaty. But we are going to get into Bunny now, and we are starting on page 135, chapter 16. End of the night update and midweek, or not midweek, end of the week check-in. I only read 64 pages in here today, and that puts me at 82 all day. And honestly, I'm just like, what is the point of this? I don't get it. It's just, yeah, what is the point? I don't understand what's happening. And when I was talking about my theories of what is this, when I was like, it's a dream or a vision or something the character is writing, another thing I thought, but I don't really think, is that it could be something like Ubik by Philip K. Dick, how it's kind of like a simulation maybe. But I think that would be listed as sci-fi, and this was not listed as sci-fi. At least I don't think it was. Yeah, just weird. I do not understand. It's a 2-star right now. I don't hate it, because honestly I have no feelings towards it whatsoever. So that was all the reading we did today, because I'm not going to pick this up again tonight, because we do have House of the Dragon tonight, the last episode with the younger cast before they age them up in the next episode. So kind of exciting. I'm not one of those people who I'm like, oh, Millie Alcock is gonna be gone. I'm so like, the other actor isn't gonna live up to it. No, I'm excited for all of it. Okay, let's get into the midweek wrap up. Now, this might take a minute for me, not for y'all, because the Wi-Fi is not working. We've had to reboot it 4 times today, I think. Very annoying, so hold on. With Bunny, we are at 64%. With The Immortal Life of Henrietta Lacks, I am at 29%. And with The Night Manager, I am at 78%. But again, that is by Goodreads, because by the Kindle app, I am at 80%. Let's look at my reading challenge now. I've read 74 books this year, and my goal is 80 books. So I am 17 books ahead of schedule and 92% of the way to my reading. Hey guys, it's Monday. I'm not looking like my typical Monday self, because I am taking the day off from working. I did wake up at like dawn at 6 in the morning to watch the Queen's funeral, and I watched 4 or 5 hours because there was a service at Westminster. Then the Queen, they all drove out to Windsor, and then there was a service at Windsor. All of that, and I was like, I don't know how well my mind will be around under eye bags will be, because I am currently out of patches, under eye patches. So I was like, I'm just gonna film tomorrow. I did get emotional, I will admit. I did cry during the funeral. I did not think I would, but I did. I can't remember if I cried during Philip's or not. I mean, I probably did, to be honest with y'all, but during the Queen's, I did indeed cry. That is besides the point, because this is a reading vlog, not a royal family vlog, even though they've impacted my life quite a lot. But again, we're not getting into that. But we are going to begin into reading. Back to this 5-star prediction that is very much living to the 5-star prediction standard. So we're going to be starting on page 110, chapter 15, Too Young to Remember. And this chapter spans from 1951 to 1965. So I'm going to cover so y'all can't get spoilers, but I love the heading at the top, how they do the timeline. Because it's not always in chronological order, so it just points to what decade that we're in. And I just find that to be really helpful, and I haven't seen a book that has done that. Another thing is, there is a YA version of this book as well, and I think that is just so amazing. Because it's not really dense, but again, we have to remember, I'm an adult, so to a 13-year-old, somebody 10 years younger than me, this might be a bit intimidating. I think this story is so important to learn about because Henrietta Lacks, her life has impacted all of our lives. And I feel like people do need to know her story and what she went through, what her family went through, and what other Black Americans went through having experiments done on them. So I am so happy that there is a young adult version of this. Now, I have not read the young adult version, so I don't know how different it is, but I think that is amazing that it's going to a wider range of audiences, so not just adults are hearing this story, but younger readers are as well. So I'm wondering if maybe they could even make a children's book or something. I just think that is amazing. I haven't seen that done with any of the other books that I've read, nonfiction books I've read, or really books in general, so I think that's really awesome of Rebecca Skloot to be doing that. We have a lot to talk about. I'm honestly amazed by some of this stuff and that we didn't learn about it in school, but again, my American history class, we only got to like the French and Indian War. Yeah, blame Donald Trump, but we're not going into that. I'm reading all my points. So this one is like our I don't know, I don't want to say lighthearted, but not like scientific. So the first chapter I read today was about Deborah, who is Henrietta's daughter, and just her life. Because her mother died when she was very young. She doesn't really have memory of her, and it was just talking about her childhood. And the next chapter goes to 1999 when the author goes to Clover, Virginia to see where Henrietta grew up and visit her family. So she goes and visits one of her, I guess, cousins. Yeah, her cousin Cliff. And it's talking about how he's living. So like inside Cliff's house, the electric blue and white walls were darkened with smudges of oil and dirt. He blocked the stairs to the second floor with cardboard and blankets to keep warm air from going up and out through missing windows. He had patched holes in the ceilings, walls, and windows with newspapers and duct tape. And then it goes like several paragraphs. Those medical people who did not tell her family about the cells, did not get her consent or anything, were making millions when her family were living like this in houses with missing windows with no heat. Like, oh, it's terrible, right? My next point, our next chapter, the one from 1954 to 1966, was talking about Southam, who was a virologist, so somebody who studies viruses. And what he was doing, it's honestly disgusting. So researchers were breathing in the air around HeLa cells, touching them and transferring them from vial to vial, eating lunch at tables beside them. One had used them to grow a vaccine for a common cold-like virus, which he had injected along with bits of HeLa into more than 400 people. So they're starting to wonder, what if Henrietta's cancer cells can infect the scientists working on them? Like, what if, because when they injected rats with these cells, the rats grew tumors. So were all these people they were giving vaccines with these cells getting tumors? And sure enough, some of them were, so Southam went to cancer patients and started giving them these shots to see if they would get tumors like she did from it. And obviously people with cancer, they're like immunocompromised. And so then he left several to see if some people he would cut off the tumor that grew, but some he left several to see if the patient's immune systems would reject them or the cancer would spread. No, he did not tell these people what these shots were for. He would lie about it, saying, oh, it's to test for cancer, that kind of thing. And it's just disgusting. And then another one, prisoners were in that time, again, this is 1960s, like this is fairly recent. Like I'm sure every single one of you knows somebody who was alive in the 1960s. But at this time, prisoners nationwide were being used for research of all kinds, from testing chemical warfare agents to determining how X-raying testicles affected sperm count. And they were getting consent from the prisoners, but now it says prisoners are vulnerable, like they are not in like the right mindset. I'm trying to find the paragraph, but I don't see it. They're not in the right mindset to give consent. And a lot of the prisoners who were asked, like, why did you get injected with cancer? Like, why were you fine with that? And they were like, They did something bad, they did an injustice, and it's paying back a little bit, which I'm like, no, that's what your prison time's for. You don't need to get injected with cancer. I could let you know, not all these people that they were doing this to committed violent crimes. Some of these were for forgery and things like that, which are obviously still crimes, but I mean, like, a rapist is different than somebody doing forgery in my mind. But I do think everybody can be changed, not gonna lie, but we're not gonna go into a political spill because that would get into that. This guy, he wouldn't have gotten any trouble if he didn't call up a doctor at a Jewish chronic disease hospital in Brooklyn to use the hospital's patients for research. So 3 of the doctors, because it is a Jewish hospital, refused to do research because it reminded them of Nazis. So all 3 knew about the research Nazis had done on Jewish prisoners. They also knew about the famous Nuremberg trials. So the Nuremberg Code was not actual law, and there were not really any laws in the United States at this time, again, only 50 years ago, for human tests. There were laws for animal testing, but not testing on humans, which is insane. And it's just because all this is so recent is why it's so shocking. I mean, it's disgusting anyway what people were doing on other people, but still, the fact that it's so recent, we don't think about that. I mean, even thinking back to the Nazis, that was not long ago. Like, again, you probably know somebody who was alive back then. But yes, I am going to head to PetSmart, Petco, one of those stores, because I need to get pee pads for dogs. And then I'm going to go get some lunch. But yeah, long tangent there, but there was a lot that I needed to talk about. Oh, there's 2 in there. And there's these guys. Yeah, look at you. Oh, their name is for the Beatles. We are done with that for the day. I read 66 pages, getting to 47%. Oh my gosh. Yeah, this is best nonfiction this year, at least so far, but we are like almost at the halfway point, so I feel like I can say that it's the best so far this year. And I only had 1 tab, wow, in that section. It really makes you think, because it said all the things that these cells like helped discover, like that cigarettes cause lung cancer, how x-rays and certain chemicals transform normal cells into malignant ones, and why normal cells stopped growing and cancer cells didn't, and it goes on and on about things, even creating or helping create the chemotherapy drugs and so on. It's just interesting to think about the morals behind it all, or lack of morals I talked about earlier. I think that was in last week's vlog, that it obviously helped a ton of people, and even the family says it's a miracle that it helped all of these things. Like, it can fix, they can make, what's the thing that starts with a C in your eye? I can't remember, but you can make one of those to replace the one that you have, and all of that. Family lives in poverty because this is all done without Henrietta's consent, and that the doctors were exploiting a Black woman's body. And it's just, yeah, a lot to think about. That was my note. That's a lot to think about. So that ended part 2. I did go over a little bit of my reading time just because I thought that would be a good place to end the night on. I think we'll probably finish this on Wednesday. And yeah, I'm really enjoying this, and it's definitely a 5-star. It is time to get into Bunny for the night. Sorry, I'm looking at my phone. Bunny, we are starting on page 199 and chapter 25. We got to page 217, which is 18 pages read and 71%. Yeah, like this far in, there's not going to be any new thoughts, especially if I'm not annotating. We will begin into this tonight, it looks like. And I did watch House of Dragon last night. I just haven't told y'all anything about it. Again, the score, the music to Chef Kiss, it was perfect. And I'm just so curious because we do change actors next week for the younger characters. And I'm fascinated. And I'm just seeing this thing on my screen that says don't miss these 54 new short story collections. I didn't know My Monticello was a short story collection. But I am wanting to get more into that. I think it'll just be good for traveling and all that, even though like I have no plans to travel, but still like whenever I do, I think it would be a good option. Yeah, House of Dragon. Okay, as I say every week, Alicent was my favorite in the books, but I've been rooting for Rhaenyra on the show, but Alicent last night just went off and I'm like, is this when I'm switching favorites? I don't know, but I feel like it'd be a good spot. Hey guys, happy Tuesday. Sorry, I'm straightening up the tripod. But it's currently 1:41, so I'm gonna try to get in about 50 minutes of reading before I go and walk the dogs and then get ready to film for the day, because I didn't film yesterday and I slept amazing last night. I slept 11 hours. Yeah, super happy about that after staying up for 20 hours yesterday. That's a bit longer than I usually stay up. But we ended up reading 117 pages yesterday, so we started the week off with a bang. That is a fantastic start for reading. We're about to get into this. Let's see what page we are starting on here. Where is my bookmark? Oh, it's all the way back there. Part 3 of the book, and that is, I don't know what page, because you know, 179 is the page that we are starting on. Yeah, I do think we will finish 3 books in this vlog, which we usually only finish 2 books in a vlog. So finishing 3, pat on the back there. My eyes are totally watering, but I did want to tell y'all about the books we're releasing this week. I have no new notes for the book I'm currently reading. In my personal list, I don't have any new releases that I'm anticipating this week, but this little article here might change my thoughts. The first book we have mentioned is Lucy by the Sea by Elizabeth Strout. Now looking at this cover, I would assume this was a thriller, but apparently not. So it's, you should read this book if you like literary fiction, Pulitzer Prize winning authors, small town Maine, amicable exes, humor, empathy, the enduring power of love, and Lucy Barton. I don't know who Lucy Barton is. I might look into that, maybe. Then this one I know I'm not looking into because I think it's kind of a sequel, or maybe it's a companion, and I haven't read the first book, but I'm still gonna tell y'all that is Less is Lost by Andrew Sean Greer. You should read this book if you like literary fiction, Pulitzer Prize winning authors, road trip stories, LGBT themes, rusty camper vans, geographical cures, my bad, the enduring power of love, and Arthur Less. Then we have what looks like a oh yeah, fantasy. I then saw historical fiction, so I was like, wait, but it is The Witch and the Tsar by Alicia Salnikova Gilmore. My bad if I'm pronouncing that wrong. You should read this book if you like fantasy, historical fiction, 16th century Russia, the legend of Baba Yaga, the reign of Ivan the Terrible, Old God, New Tyrants, and debut novels. Why are Russian fantasy books always by Ivan the Terrible? It's just something I've noticed. Then this is another one that is in a series or a companion in a series. I got my grandma the first book, but I don't think she ever read it. So, I mean, it might be one I get to one day. But it's The Bullet That Missed by Richard Osman. You should read this book if you like murder mysteries, cozy mysteries. Oh, I've never seen this word before. Septuagenarian sleuths. Baffling cases, twisty plot lines, ex-KGB agents, and the Thursday Murder Club series. And then this one that, like, I refuse to read books by this author because I feel like they're like James Patterson, where they put out tons of books, but I don't know, I could be totally wrong. I've seen movies, and I think I read one book when I was like 12. But that is Dreamland by Nicholas Sparks. You should read this book if you like romance, contemporary fiction, parallel narrative threads, young mothers in peril, young musicians in love, people helping people, and Nicholas Sparks books. Okay, I'm about to like roast whoever wrote this article. It doesn't, oh, it just says our first name. When it just says, if you like books by this author, well, duh, because if they like books by this author, they're gonna check out his other works. And then like the Thursday Murder Club series, yeah, they wouldn't read this book if they hadn't read the rest of the series. So I just feel like that's kind of dumb to put that in the reasons you should read this. But then we have Uncultured, a memoir by Daniela Messianic Young. You should read this book if you like autobiographies, memoirs, incredible origin stories, dangerous cults, Brazilian communes, daring escapes, young women overcoming incredible odds. That also sounds interesting to me. So the first and last books are the ones that I think sound most interesting. Oh, Lucy by the Sea is in a series. It's the 4th book in a series. And gosh, number 4. That's what it says, so I'm assuming this is some kind of series. Y'all, it is so hot. It's 89 now, but it was in the 90s. I went outside to take pictures with my DSLR and it just would not focus on me. I don't know why, which is so frustrating. I'm like in my videos, like yeah, I took a video out there too and it focused on me, but in the pictures, it just wouldn't focus. And then the battery died because the battery on Canon cameras suck. Yeah, then I just hung out with Bud and Delilah. I've tried in the backyard, but Delilah was like, tripod equals 2 toys, so I'm not gonna let you do this unless you give me the tripod. And I'm like, you're not a professional photographer, Delilah. I'm sorry, so I'm gonna go inside. And I was gonna go upstairs and so I went to the bathroom everywhere. And I was like, I honestly dealt with this last week and I don't want to deal with it right now. So I was just like, we'll go to the front yard and have all my neighbors see me take photos. One did get home and I was like, no, I didn't even see him, but I saw his truck. But yeah, so all of that. My eyebrows look fantastic today. I didn't overdo it. Sometimes I do too far down, but today I did spot on. Usually I would order food today, but I do need to edit a video, so I'm just gonna get fast food because again, it's fast. So I'm just gonna head over to Taco Bell sometime. Look at that lighting difference. That's why you should always film with the lights behind you. If we ever have to go back to people working from home for Zoom calls and all, do it with the lights behind the camera. I said behind you, but the lights behind the camera, computer, whatever. That is just a tip. And natural lighting works best. That's what I'm doing right now. It's natural lighting. Oh, well, I do have my ceiling fan on because it does, the sun is starting to set, like, you know, earlier in the day. But we're about to get into this on page 199. A great place to start. I had to buy a new camera charger. I don't know if I talked about that. Maybe I did. I know I talked about the camera, but I do need to buy a new charger. But I'm about to get into my audiobook here. And yeah, I know usually when I listen to audiobooks, I'll be playing a video game in the background. We know I was like really into City Skylines last week and over the weekend, but I haven't given my back a break because I have bad posture in this chair. Hopefully when I get a new chair, I'm gonna get one that is like made for having good posture. I saw some on Amazon, but I'm just so into this story that I want to be reading along. And since it is a 5-star prediction, I want to give it that extra amount of attention since it is going to be in like its personal video almost. Guys, we had a bit of a wild ride. The Wi-Fi was really acting up. I think it's because of the heat, just because we are back on a heat wave, I guess. I don't know if it's officially a heat wave, but it's going to be in the high 90s on the first day of fall. It's going to be like the hottest day of the week. And I saw some of my other friends who live in other parts of the country, it's going to be in the 90s as well, high 90s on the first day of fall. And I'm like, that's not right. Wi-Fi went out and then my phone battery died because I was like, my phone battery's getting low, so I'm going to switch to my iPad to listen to the audiobook on there. But Audible would not load because I guess, like, I thought it would work without Wi-Fi, but apparently it wasn't. And so I didn't have any. I restarted the Wi-Fi twice and it didn't work, but it is working now. We're good now. I got to page 218, which I'm not exactly sure how many pages read that is, but let me do the math for y'all. Yeah, I only read 39 pages in there, which in my mind is not good at all. So I don't know if we're on track to finish this tomorrow still, so we might finish it on Thursday, but still, I want to finish it in this vlog if that is the last thing I do. I have about a little less than 3 hours left of the audiobook, and I don't remember what percent I got to in here, but it was over 60 something %. We're gonna get into Bunny now, and on Bunny we are starting on page, the part 3, I don't remember what page this is, so like 219 is what I'm going to say. Let's get into it. We know I get scared going into this every time because I'm like, what is happening? But maybe part 3 will go back to more of the vibes of part 1, because part 1 was better. Part 2, I was like, honestly, what is happening? I am so confused. The American Eagle jet coming in. You know, Av Geek, so love when I hear the jets flying in. Yeah, I had a weird route today. When I was reading it earlier, I usually keep the flight radar up just so, because that's not extremely distracting like some websites might be. And it made this really big, like it went straight south from, I'm going the opposite way. It went straight south and then made a circle and then landed at the airport. Now, mind you, I am not at a very busy airport. That is the only commercial flight that comes in. So it was quite strange. And then it sat on the ground for like an hour. Usually it takes them about 30 minutes to get everybody off, clean the plane, refuel, get the next flight going back to Charlotte. But no, it took like an hour, because usually I will, when I'm outside walking the dogs, I see it going to Charlotte, or at least hear it, but today not so much. I don't know what all that. 20 pages and bunnies, so we're at 59 pages on the day. We will be picking this up. I don't think we're gonna hit 100 pages today, which is sad, but it is okay. We will survive. We will. I'm going to go get a bath now, and I'll see y'all tomorrow on Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. Do y'all remember the 21st night of September? Do you? But we're about to get into reading. So I ended up reading 92 pages yesterday, which again is not ideal, but it was better than some of the days. We are gonna get back into this, and my Wi-Fi isn't working, but my phone battery is not that high either. So hopefully I can get like more reading in this than yesterday, because yesterday I didn't get a lot because phone battery, Wi-Fi. We are going to get a new modem. My dad finally gave in and is like, yeah, we'll get a new modem, but I don't know when he plans to do that, because he could say that and it'll be like 3 years. So hopefully it won't be 3 years, because Wi-Fi is kind of important, which, okay, it's working now, but because I just had to restart it. So we're good, we're good. The Wi-Fi is working, but we are definitely going to get a new modem sometime soon. Hopefully soon. Because by these vlogs, y'all can tell that is much needed. I was so scared that my video wasn't going to get uploaded yesterday, because I usually do edit and upload everything on Monday, but since I didn't work Monday, I had to do it on Tuesday, and that was the day the Wi-Fi was acting up. But I did go and finish the Elvis movie last night. The second half was better than the first half, but still, it wasn't a great movie. Like, I've liked other movies by this director, so it's just like kind of shocking that I didn't like this. But that's the thing, like, with Ridley Scott, I loved The Last Duel. It's one of my top 5 favorite movies, but I hated House of Gucci. I didn't hate it, but it literally put me to sleep. It is the only movie ever to put me to sleep, which is saying something. That's amazing. Like, I know it's the writing, it just felt so boring to me. But yeah, with Elvis, it was just all over the place, and yeah, I felt like with the second half of the movie, we were more consistent. Me, was not a great movie. It was fine, like, but it didn't live up to my expectations. We have another biopic quote movie that will start wars that comes out this week, and that is Blonde, which I will watch. I don't know if I'm gonna watch it this weekend, but I do plan to watch it sometime. But I'm gonna read and then head to Target after I read. It is the Target haul time. So we're at my kitchen table. So again, bad lighting, but that's part of it. Mouthwash, basic essential. Then, since I've been using a pencil eyeliner, this is a sharpener for them, and it's a cruelty-free and vegan. I don't know how a sharpener is, but it says on the back. So I saw one by e.l.f. because that was the first one I saw in the Target app. Then from there, it's their Halloween line, but these are fall. So this is the Hide and Eek Squirrel. This was for $5. I don't know how much those two were. And then I did get goldfish as well. And again, I don't see a price on there. So $5 for this. Oh, I have more things, but we'll get to that. We got this little owl, who I'm assuming is $5 as well. Yes, and he was in their Hide and Eek line. There's also a black cat, which I really want, but they are sold out at my store. But I am going to be placing an order online on Saturday, so that will probably be in the next week's vlog. So I got 2 mugs as well, because I do not have any fall mugs. I have a lot of like Christmas ones, and then like fandom ones, like I have Outlander, that kind of thing. So this is a turkey mug, and I honestly did not think they would have this in store. I thought this was going to be something that was only online,
because I've never seen like anything like this in store before. And this was for, it does not have the price once again, but I'm gonna probably say $5 to $10. And then this one that just says, hey, they're pumpkin. They have a lot of cool fall mugs, so definitely recommend checking out Target for that. I feel like they haven't had fall mugs in the past, but I've been wanting this pillow for a long time, but I just never go in the bedding section. This was the last one. It was discounted, I saw on the app. And then I realized it does have a hole in the back, but I mean, I'm not too rough with these things, so I mean, I'm not really concerned about all the stuffings falling out. But I don't know what it was. It's $10 originally, and as I said, I got it on sale, so I'm not sure what I actually got it for, but that is everything that I got at Target today.
We got to exactly 75%, so yeah, we're definitely going to be finishing this tomorrow. The last chapter I read, they were uncovering what had happened to Deborah's sister, Henrietta's daughter, Elsie. She was at a mental institution, I guess you would call it, because she was epileptic, and I would say probably autism as well. I'm sorry about the cat messing with the door. But obviously at that time, when she was a kid, the 1940s, 1950s, that wasn't really something people talked about. It wasn't something that was really well known about. So it was just terrible of what was being done to these people, especially the Black people at this facility in Crownsville, Maryland. Yeah, I just went into all of that of like what was happening to these people. And again, the medical people were doing tests, like experiments on these people with their brains, really just messed up. And it makes me so mad seeing like this kind of stuff happened. And it's good that so much has evolved since then, that things aren't as bad. Obviously we can still find things that are being done now that are wrong, but not to the extent of what they were in the past. But this book has been very eye-opening of just how science and medical care and all of that, how it has just, the history of it in this country and then to today. I really would like to know more. This book was published in 2010, maybe 2009. I want to know if the HeLa cells were used with the COVID vaccine at all. Just kind of curious, or just used with COVID in general, maybe not even vaccines, but I would be interested in knowing about that. But I'm sure I can find that online, but I'm not going to do that till I finish the book because I don't want any spoilers. But there is my 7:27 p.m. update. I surprisingly read 40 pages, which I'm shocked by. So, like, what is 61 plus 40? 101. So yeah, I don't even have to go into this today. So I don't know if we'll finish it in this vlog or not, because I am doing a voice call with my friends tonight, voice chat on Discord. If my Wi-Fi keeps working, hopefully it does, because like I blew out the last one because like I got the message too late and I was like, I'm already in bed, I don't want to go set up my microphone and all. And I'm like, I don't want to blow off another one, that would just be rude. So I am definitely crossing my fingers the Wi-Fi is going to work, and then I don't even have to worry about having to get 100 pages in. So I'm honestly shocked I read that many pages. Do I still write pages after? No. Okay, so we read 10 more pages than we read yesterday. As I said, I am on page 279 in Bunny now. I need to, I haven't updated Goodreads. Is this correct? Oh, 269. Oh, I totally screwed up. I totally misread. I'm on page 269. Like, oh my gosh, guys. But I didn't update yesterday with what page I'm on. That's kind of odd. So I'm gonna go quickly read 10 pages in here and then get in my bath. So I'm probably gonna be on my voice call a little bit late, but I don't know. Because I already wrote down 101 pages doing my math wrong. So I have to read 10 extra pages. So I don't know, do I read them in here? How long is the next chapter? It starts on 69 and goes to, that won't even, will that fit there? Yeah, so I'm just gonna read one more chapter in here, and honestly, I just feel dumb reading this. I'm like, I do not understand anything that is happening at all. I don't know, but there's my last update of the day. Thursday. Thursday. Gotta get out of bed on Thursday. No, so I did do my voice call last night, but the Wi-Fi did go out 2 hours in and then came back on 2 hours later. But I still got to talk to my friends for 2 hours, and these are friends who I've been friends with since 2019. I hadn't talked to in a while, so it was like really good to talk to old friends. Yeah, we did read 101 pages yesterday, and hopefully we are going to finish books today. This is the last day on this vlog, and I have not edited any of it. I had been on a roll of like editing every single day, but just this week I blame the queen. No, because the vlog started on Saturday and I just haven't, I don't know why. Like, I haven't cleaned this week, I haven't done anything. But we are starting in here on page 279. We have finished the book, my 5-star prediction of the month, and it was definitely a 5-star, so I am super happy about that. This is 2 months in a row that they have actually been 5 stars. Or has it been 3? I don't know. It's been 2 or 3 months in a row where they have all been 5 stars. So obviously I know my reading taste well. And if you guys are wanting my full review on this, I will link it down below if I have it written by the time this video is live, because usually with my 5-star prediction reviews, it takes some time, because for me personally, writing a book that is good, it's harder to write a review for. A nonfiction is harder in reviews for in general, but it's harder to write a good book review rather than a book that you hated. Just, I think that's anything in life. Like, if there's something you don't like, you're really gonna go into it. And if there's something you love, you can be left speechless by that. But I mean, I guess you can be left speechless by something bad as well. But still, 5 out of 5 star. And then I will have a whole portion, probably like a good 5-minute portion in my 5-star prediction video, which will probably be out November, December. I'm not exactly sure what month, but be sure to stay tuned for that. If you guys are wondering what book is going to be the main focus in next week's vlog, it's going to be A Flicker in the Dark by Stacey Willingham. This is one of the first nominations for the Book of the Year with the Book of the Month subscription box, and it is by a local author, so that's always fun. I don't know if it takes place here. No, it takes place in Baton Rouge or in Louisiana, but still, can't wait for this. I got so close to finishing the editing on this vlog. Literally 3 more clips, but it's 9 o'clock. So it's time for me to read, to get into Bunny, and hopefully finish Bunny. Guys, I finished the book and I still have no idea what the point was or what was happening or anything. So yeah, most definitely very overhyped. I feel like I wasted my time, and maybe I'm just dumb. I don't know. I do not get the point of that book, and I don't get why it's popular. Maybe it's just people trying to be edgy. I don't know, because I honestly feel like I do a pretty good job at analyzing books and understanding them, but this, I have absolutely no idea. But that's going to be the end of the vlog. I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you made it through the whole vlog, which nobody has done this yet, leave a DNA emoji down in the comments below. But as always, comment, rate, and subscribe, and don't forget to ring that notification bell to be notified when all my videos go live. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!